Hey guys, it's your old pal Tony Giles TG back once again with another episode of The Record Room. And on this week's episode, I'm going to be taking a look at something that I wasn't even 100% sure I was going to pick this up, to be perfectly honest. But as you can see before you, I did. And it's the Tool Fear Inoculum vinyl box set. Now this album has actually been out for I think a couple of years or like a year and a half as a digital and a CD release. And I know that the first edition CD that came with this elaborate screen and it had all these images, that was quickly deleted, and then they released a cheaper version, but it was still kind of expensive for a CD. And now me myself, I am a Tool fan, have been since the mid-90s. I have some of their records on vinyl. Primarily though, I have them on CD because I was buying CDs at the time they were readily available. But I hadn't heard Fear Inoculum before I bought the vinyl set. Now I know you're probably thinking, well, if you're a fan, why didn't you listen to it when the album came out? And that's a great question, but the truth is, if I know something is coming out on vinyl, and with Tool, you know, I had a fair idea that this would end up coming out on vinyl. You know, everything pretty much comes out on vinyl these days, and Tool are one of the bigger bands, you know, in the heavy rock metal arena. So I figured at some point there would be some kind of vinyl. And there's been a plethora of bootlegs of this since its original release. So I thought, you know what, I can just wait. I can just wait. Now I didn't expect to be waiting quite as long as I ended up waiting, but as a first time listener, going into this box set completely blind, I have to say my expectations were by far and away met and exceeded like nobody's business. This has been my favorite Tool listening experience in probably over a decade. You know, I've loved everything. My favorite Tool album is probably Enema or Enema or however you pronounce it. But I've loved everything they've done since then. I really have. Lateralis and 10,000 Days. But there's something about this record. It got to me in such a way. And it's an investment buying this box set. You know, it's a 5 LP set, I believe. It's not cheap. It's about 150 UK pounds. I'm not sure what that converts into in whichever part of the world you're watching this in. But I spent the money. I was committed. So whether I was going to enjoy it or not, that was kind of kind of non-existent because, you know, I already owned it. But wow. I got the record home, or I got the set home. First thing I did was clean it up because I do that with everything that's new. I clean everything that comes into the record room, especially everything that touches my turntable. And I sat down, and I did have it cranked fairly loudly. And I mean, I talked about it before. I've talked about it many times about music taking you on journeys, and I wasn't quite prepared for the journey Tool's Fear Inoculum was going to take me on. But man alive, wow, what an experience. And we're going to take a look at the box set now. I was originally going to do a like a real unboxing on this, but I had to hear it. After all the waiting and finally having it, I had to actually hear it. So I've kept it in the shrink wrap for the time being, only because I don't have a sleeve for it, and it does actually have one of those almost holographic sleeves, so you can see scratches and things like that. So that's the front cover. The back cover looks a little like that, not massively interesting, as you can see. It is reflecting yours truly, so let me just step out of the way, but we'll actually take a look at what's inside because this is magnificent. You know, for a start, there probably aren't many bands out there that, like, you know, if you think about it, could actually do a 5 LP set of their latest album. And the way this works is each disc, it's cut at 33, each disc has 1 or 2 tracks per disc. One-sided, with each corresponding side featuring an etching. I've never heard of anything like this before. Maybe it's been done, I'm not aware, but talk about, I mean, Tool have always gone above and beyond when it comes to presentation, but this is just on another level. So it's a really nice, well-made kind of book or housing. You can see there it's kind of like a hardback book. And so let's actually take it open now. So you open up, and the first thing you're greeted with is this kind of, it's like card. I mean, I'd say it was card, but it's almost like 3D printing. And I don't know how well this is coming across, but the stars down the side are actually 3D printed. Like, you can actually feel them. They're raised, it's a raised texture. And there are lots of small holes on purpose punched into it. And then you go through, and then the booklet itself, it's absolutely magnificent. It's magnificent is the only real way I think I can describe this package. And let me try and do this from the start. So, and I assume, I haven't actually seen the inside of one of the CDs, but I assume that this is what the CD booklet looked like. And there you go, you got members of Tool there. And some creepy, creepy drawings. I'm not sure who did some of the artwork on this. It's one of the members, it's either Adam or Justin, I believe, did some of the artwork on this. And then you get, obviously, the credits there. And who played what. Art direction, Adam Jones. So there you go. That's I believe that answers that. And then you've got the back of what is essentially the booklet, information booklet, and this replicates the front where it's kind of 3D printed. And then you get into the actual album portion, and each one comes in its own. It's kind of like, it has its own inner sleeve almost. It's like a card inner sleeve. And then inside that, the records sit inside that. Now, as you can see, mine has actually split off, but that's purely, I think this happens to a lot of them. It's just the sheer weight, because the book is actually in two different parts. So there you go there. That's what the actual package looks like. And again, it's kind of hard to keep this. I'll just show you again. It's so heavy. It's so heavy that anytime you kind of take a record out, you run the risk of splitting the glue, which is, I mean, this isn't a problem. This isn't something that I plan to resell. I like to look through these kind of things. So that's what we're going to do now. So this is the first LP, which includes the songs Fear, Inoculum, and Panama. I'm not entirely sure. But this is, so it's just regular black vinyl. It's cut 33 and it sounds absolutely fantastic. But the etching on the side, look at that. How cool is that? That is so unusual. And, you know, for a band, it takes a band like Tool to even attempt to do something like this. I can't imagine there are many bands out there that would go to their label or whatever and say, yeah, we want to release our new album on vinyl. However, this is how we want to do it. We want to do it as a 5-disc LP with, you know, 1 or 2 songs per side. And then we want the other sides to literally be etchings. So this one has, there we go. Can I get it in the light? There we go. It's kind of like a spider, maybe. And I'm sure there are some better images of this online. And if you, unfortunately, this is a price prohibitive product. It is, because this is, you know, it's over £100. I imagine it's over $100. Well, it will be over $100. So it's not your average release where you can just, you know, run down to the store, buy the new Tool album for 25 bucks. No, this is an investment, but it's so awesome. It's so awesome. Unfortunately, these etchings do attract a fair amount of dust, so I apologize if you're seeing some dust on there, but again, they're not to be played. They are simply just etchings. And again, this is literally just glue. I can glue this back together. This isn't a big deal. I'm not fussed about that at all. And as I say, this has happened to other copies as well. So this is disc 4, I think. Is this? Yeah, this is disc 4. And this one has more of an all over etching, which is very, very cool. It's kind of almost like a wave in a cave. And my hat's off to Tool, you know, after 20 plus years of listening to them, well actually 30, close to 30 years now, they're still knocking it out of the park with their releases. Their music is still fantastic. Yeah, you might wait a long time for an album, but you know, I'm a patient man. As Fugazi once said, I'm a patient boy. And there you go, that's the final etching there. I've said it several times throughout this episode. This is not a cheap release. This is not going to be affordable for everybody. I don't know if at some point there will be a standard-ish version of Tool's Sphere Inoculum. I'm not even sure how they would do it. Maybe a 3 LP set is the way to make it more price prohibitive or price friendly. I don't actually know. It does go back in the box fairly simply. There you go there. But for my money, this is a fantastic investment. It's an incredible listening experience. And if you have the means and you are able and you're a fan, do yourself a favor. Grab yourself a copy of this set. You will not be disappointed. And remember guys, you can follow us on social media at Record Room Show. And until we speak again, remember to like, subscribe, tell your friends if you enjoy the content of the Record Room. Spin those blackest circles and I'll be back with you soon.